Hey Letha, how you doing? How's it going today? Yeah, it rained. It started raining later last night, and then it looked like it was going to. We were going to skate this rain today, but obviously we haven't. So I'm sure predicting the weather in the mountains is a little different. Maybe not. At least it's a warm rain. It's like this truck driver doesn't know what to do. Oh, are you getting rain too, huh, Jordan? Yeah. Hey, Blue Malibu, how you doing? Hey, Jordan. I would say that's the big spaghetti was good, not great. I mean, I hate to say it, but probably good for around here. I never see Italian restaurants much uh, when I'm down south. I'm sure they're around. I just haven't found them. But if you're in like a market like Detroit or something like that, where you got to really up the ante for top-notch Italian. So I think considering the area was good, I'd give it like a 7.5. There's a lot of different grades of cheese you can use, and believe it or not, pasta. If you ever look at one of those commercial food broker catalogs, I mean, there's 20 different versions of chicken wings you can get. You wouldn't, not just by weight. I'm talking about quality. It's weird. Oh, trying to stay warm? Yeah, this is actually a nice warm rain, though, like you'd expect in August. Yeah, we're doing fine. I can tell Daisy must sense the humidity or something because on rainy days, even with the curtains closed, I can tell in the morning whether she's enthusiastic to leave or not. And today she was not, and sure enough, I looked out the curtains and it was raining. And like right now, too. Hey, award winning, how you doing? I got like a 54-minute driving video of, what I thought were good clips, like going through Daniel Boone National Forest and stuff. I mean, really beautiful countryside around here. I'm not kidding you. Most people don't really care for driving videos, but I like watching them, believe it or not. Oh, thank you. Hey, Daisy, how you feeling? How you feeling? So now I'm trying to figure out if I should. There's the only one knock that I have being down here is when I'm out doing photography and stuff, and these any place off the expressway, there's hardly ever a shoulder to the road. None. So it messes up photography, and they're all winding, curvy roads going through the mountains. So you just can't be, stopping and taking a photo when there's no place to pull over or doing 20 miles an hour. You get killed. And that limits things. So I'm trying to think today whether I'll try and eke out a place where it's not like that, which is hard to find, or go up to Lexington, just hang out at a bookstore. I'm feeling okay, and I still think, I mean, these allergy pills have helped. I don't think I sleep as much as I should. I don't know why, but I'm feeling okay. How you doing, by the way? Hey, Catherine. So I got so kind of an unplanned day, actually. There's a big long strip. I think I may stay one day. One thing I noticed down here, and that is that you can tell out in these rural areas. Let me give you an example. If you look up McCreary County, they claim that's one of the most poverty-stricken counties in the United States, and definitely in and out of the #1 spot in Kentucky, Pine Knot, McCreary County. And I went down there yesterday, and believe me, I had a great time all day yesterday. It was a beautiful day. But one thing I've noticed is it's not what you'd really expect. And I'm happy for that, really. I mean, you do notice some poverty like outside of town, but when you go into even a town like Pine Knot, it's all new school buildings, new buses, nice like brick. You'd think you were in Boston. Brick buildings downtown. I mean, there are some businesses that are out of business and that kind of thing, but it isn't what you'd think considering that designation by the government. And another thing I find interesting is You know, driving around here, I haven't found any homeless. Now, there are some living conditions you probably wouldn't envy, but they still got a roof over their head one way or the other. And maybe it's not as bad as it's portrayed. Because when I was in places like Billings, Montana, Rapid City, that kind of thing, there were just hundreds of homeless people. I haven't seen any. And I also haven't seen any place like I would in Detroit or Toledo, where people would congregate, you know, around an area that weren't doing too well or around some kind of general assistance. So I'm glad I had not seen it in a way. It's not, it's a different kind of poverty. It's strange. It's hard to explain. It's like this, it's subcategory. Let's put it this way. If things ever went south and I was going to be trying to survive someplace, it'd definitely be down here. Another interesting thing, I got to say, I used to say Montana was the most beautiful state, in my opinion. But I don't think that anymore. I'd have to give it to Kentucky. If you look like between Lexington and down at the very southern tip of the state, between like Knoxville and Lexington, and look east and west of I-75, you know, I always did photography, but you know, I was working during part of my life, so I made a million trips starting when I was a freshman in college. My first trip to Florida driving by myself. I'd been there a couple times. I went down there with a girlfriend actually. But since then, I bet, and I have a place in Florida, and I've always lived in Chicago or Detroit. I bet I've went by this area 200 times over 40 years. And when you're driving down 75, usually, you know, if you've got a job and stuff, you're trying to get to your vacation place, whether it's Miami Beach or Key West or whatever. And when you're driving down through here, you know, you kind of have an idea of what Kentucky's like. You see things in the news. And you get off at the expressway, like a place like this, and you get something to eat, and you get back on and think, well, what's so bad about Kentucky? Well, nothing really, but once you get just outside, look on a map if you get a chance today, and look at the mountainous region, the Appalachian Mountains between the area that I'm in, and you'll see roads go everywhere. Which way? There's towns, little towns everywhere, and they're really, it's really the most striking, beautiful views I've ever seen. Another thing I'm a little curious about here is why their speed limits are so low outside of the main highways. I mean, their roads down here look like something you'd find in a civil engineering magazine. They're perfect. It looks like everywhere I go is a brand new road with brand new yellow stripes on it. You'll see that in the video that's uploading. It's just beautiful when you contrast it to the outside. But I don't know why they keep the speed limits so low in some of these areas where it's just a wide open stretch and it's only 55. I mean, that same road in Montana would be 80. I'm not saying you should go 80, but 55 seems pretty slow a lot, and I wonder why they do that. And I hope somebody is on here that understands highway construction down south. Why in a place like Kentucky are there no shoulders to the roads? I mean, there are in big roads like this, but once you get off into those little towns, like look at Pine Knot as an example. There's no shoulder. I mean, sometimes there is, but not like everywhere else. It's the road and then maybe a 6-inch line on the side, and that's it. If you run out of gas or something or pull over it, I mean, 65% of the time, there's nowhere to pull over. And I just wonder why they did that. Probably an expense issue, I don't know, but if it was expense, why didn't everybody just skip a shoulder? Yeah, I wish I could run into a cop here because I'm wondering how many accidents they have on these skinny 2-lane roads out in the middle of nowhere that are super curvy and windy. If it's just something that doesn't happen because people are aware of it and they grew up here, or it's a problem. I will say down here, I had it happen one time. I was driving an Escalade with a trailer on the back, and I was about maybe 15 miles south of here, and it was ice, and it just came out of nowhere. And actually the vehicles were sliding backwards, going up one of these grades through the mountains. Nobody had a collision or anything, but it was like, I've got pictures of it somewhere. It was about out of nowhere, went from nothing to about 1/4 of an inch of ice on everything. Headlights, bumper, grill, windshield. It's crazy. So I can imagine if they get nailed with snow or ice here, it's got to be just a disaster. You'd need like an ATV. Hey Mary, how you doing? Hey, Debbie. But this is, hey, here's another thing I thought of too while I was sitting. You guys know I got a place in Florida, but I don't go there for a lot of reasons, which I'm fine with because I'm not big on Florida anyway. But this is something for you to consider, and that is that, uh, you know, where I live up in northern Michigan, the winters haven't been anything compared to the old days. So, but there's people that talk they'd like to get away for the worst part of the winter. Well, let me tell you this: if you look at the mean temperatures for an area like in mid Kentucky, Berea, right around there, it's a nice winter, and an early spring and a late summer. So here's my point: when you look at what they nail you different places to stay, particularly in Florida. Now you do have the ocean, and if that's what you want, there's no getting around it. But you could come down here, a place like this, a beautiful area. Just look at London, Berea, all sorts of national parks, park rangers all over the place. You'll never find a more beautiful roads to drive on. Stuff to do. You could come down here for January and February, just for the winter. You wouldn't have to worry about a lease, nothing. You could just stay like in a hotel like I do. And I'll bet you could get $1,200 or $1,300 a month, which is nothing when you compare what they get you for in other towns. Actually, I was thinking that last night. It's like, I do like the winter, but I like it if it's a normal bad winter. I'm talking about blizzards, super cold. I get excited about that. But if we just have these humdrum, crappy Januaries, it sucks. Nothing to do, snow's really not worth photographing. So I thought, if it's looking like we're going to have another one of these bullshit Januaries and these half-baked winters, I think I'm just going to come down here and spend the month of January. I can drive around and photo and video, and for like $1,200-$1,500 a month. It's only like 600 miles from where I live. You get to skip all that Florida craziness and just enjoy a beautiful area at a rate that you couldn't rent a home for in your own neighborhood. This place I'm at cooks breakfast every morning, 6 to 9. I'm not a breakfast guy, so I never eat it. Get your laundry done there. All sorts of good places to eat. I mean, if you're looking to get out of the winter and you're in a cold place and you're anywhere near Kentucky, you would have thought this would have dawned on me earlier in my life. If somebody said spend a month in Kentucky in January, I'd have thought you're nuts. To do what? Well, I know what now, because I'm thinking about doing it. But if you don't want to freeze your ass off, you look at Pennsylvania, you're very close. Ohio, you're super close. This is a good place to like hang out for a month. Everything's really expensive, including gas. $1.61 a gallon. That Italian dinner I had last night, and I got Italian sausage with it as well, $9.50. You can't beat it. Yeah, how is your mom doing, Mary? Oh yeah, I'll check that out. Mary, you ought to consider this. You would love this. You would love to come down here for 2 weeks in January, let's say. If it's a crap winter. This is rock heaven down here. Look at London, Berea, Kentucky. No, it's a very warm rain. It's actually nice. You don't need a coat or anything. I think it's probably 65, maybe 70. Yeah. Oh, Mary, I didn't realize that she had actually was symptomatic there, your mother. Good, thank God. But I think you should, Mary, I think you should, if you're into this area, even if you just came down for a week, I think for you it'd be about 750 miles. Get a weekly rate and just hunt rocks for a solid week. Glad your mom got better. Hey, Justin. Another thing too is like this camera I have now. It's weather resistant, which is not weatherproof. So I haven't had it happen, but I know people that have. You know, weather resistant. That means cross your fingers. And I know if you get one drop of water that sneaks its way down on the interior of this Nikon, it's toast. So that's a little bit of a concern. Video, I'm not so worried about. I wish I'd had that video camera going yesterday when I saw that owl. Oh, you like rocks too, Stephanie? Yeah, you'd really, this would be heaven for you down here. Really like it. Oh, she's actually hurting all over, huh? Wasn't that a beautiful owl? Yeah. So, Mary, how does this work with your brother being with her? What's he do? Just wear a mask and wash his hands, or how's that work when you have a caregiver and somebody positive in the same household? I don't think it's that far. I bet it's not that much different. Type in Berea, Ohio, Berea, Kentucky, Berea, to wherever you live in New Jersey. I bet it's the same distance I drive. But this is very nice around here. It is. All new roads. All these roads down here look brand new everywhere, even the middle of nowhere. Whoever I'd love to know how they determined where to put these roads through the mountains, because it must have been an absolute nightmare. It took forever. I'm surprised they even bothered putting roads in mountains other than to get the coal out of them. Oh, okay, Stephanie. Yeah, by the Daniel Boone. Yeah, I drove through there yesterday, a couple different ways. Then I was down by the Cumberland River. I just missed that train going across that bridge. If you look, you might see the tail end of it. I mean, I'm obsessed about like capturing images. You know, I'm not a guy that's going to have the perfect shot in a studio. I like that running and gunning, and when I see something I think's interesting, like yesterday with that owl, the minute I saw that owl, I just held my finger down on the shutter, which is why the photos are so crappy, but it was either that or nothing. That whole thing took about 4 seconds. Oh, okay, Mary. Oh, really, Mark? You know, you'd think I'd be really into that. I just went to Tequamanet Falls like back in the spring, just because there was nothing else to do. But I'm not into that like outdoor photography like you'd think. If there's something there and I happen to be around, I'll do it. But like this Cumberland Falls is here, and I was right near it and didn't even bother go looking at it. It's like not that big. I'd rather have like buildings and cars, and I don't know why that interests me like that. Yeah, it was quite an experience with the owl. I mean, I knew they were like that. It looked like it sounds stupid, but it looked like a stuffed animal. It was like so perfect. And it kept looking down at me and jumping between the rafters and flying around in this small space. And this is like a 4-foot wingspan. I was surprised when I looked at the photos that I got that one half-assed blurry shot with his wings totally expanded. That bird was flying around between these skinny, not much space, and did not want to go outside. But once I got an eyeball on Daisy, it went for broke and took off and flew out into nowhere and hauling ass fast. But at least I got to see it, but couldn't hear one little bit of a noise. You think those wings would be banging against something flying in that confined area, or you could hear it land like you do when another bird flaps its wing hard just before its feet hit the perch. Not this thing, man. Total silence. Oh, 20 minutes? Oh, okay. No, their breeding season's way behind them. That was early in the spring. Hey, Brian. About due for an oil change, I'll bet you. Let's see. Yeah, I am due for an oil change. I get an oil change about every 3 weeks. Oh, no kidding, Priestess. Wow, 78 pounds. Hey, Tim, how you doing? Yeah, it's rainy down here, but a warm rain. They have really cool looking state cop cars down here. The SUVs and the cars, they all got the... Ohio used to be that way, but they must have had to cut back on their budget. Now they got the cool looking paint scheme. Ohio State Patrol, but the crappy rims, where these guys down here got the good rims and a nice paint job. Good for you, High Priestess. No kidding, Debbie. Wow. I had an owl take a dive at Daisy when I first was walking her as a puppy. I didn't own her at the time, which was weird because, you know, here they have this great, it was dusk. Here they have this great vision and can see everything. Well, it almost seemed like it saw me as it swooping down towards Daisy and then took off. But how could you not have seen me? We were walking on a runway. But it was definitely an owl of some kind. Yeah, today I'm not really sure what I'm going to do because, you know, it isn't like you can go through like a abandoned factory area like this. I'm thinking about going to Lexington, going to a bookstore. I got a video that's uploading that's going to take 21 hours probably. I organized all my stuff yesterday and cleaned out my van, cleaned the windows. So I'm caught up on that, caught up on my laundry, so I'm really not sure. Like I said, there's nowhere to pull over a lot of the times here. Yeah, it's the first one I've seen. I've seen 2 other owls I got kind of close to. I say kind of close, 20 feet near my house outside. Screech owls. But yeah, to see that owl was really cool. So beautiful. Looks like a doll face, an old doll. Yeah, I take it everywhere. Yeah, you're right. Yep. You know, I was reading a little bit about that last night. They're very light birds for as big as they are, though. And as you probably know, I worked at a wildlife rehab place and force-fed some bald eagles and some owls. And you know, with like these barn owls, you know, they eat everything whole. The skin, the bones, everything. Just swallow the whole thing. Yeah. Oh, no kidding, Mark, huh? Yeah, wasn't that a big change to Miami? You're not kidding. Yeah, I lived in Detroit for a while, and I had a snowy owl. I came out one morning and was sitting in this real short, like, pine tree on the very top. I couldn't believe it. And then I got that's the third owl I seen. I saw that one out at the airport last fall. or spring, whenever it was. I got a little video of it. So it turns out the snowy owls, that's a problem. Yeah, that's what I say. Yeah, respect for the veterans is right. Oh, Stephanie, you didn't have to do that. Thank you. You a Michigan State grad? What do you want me to do with it? Thank you, Stephanie. Hang in there, Daisy. Glad you're doing better. No kidding, Brian. Wow. You know, back where they're building that new bridge in Detroit, the Gordie Howe Bridge, there were two pairs of Cooper's hawks. I'm assuming they were breeding, although I never saw any young ones, and they had it made there up until they actually started breaking ground. I wonder sometimes where they ended up taking off to. It's pretty cool, two pairs of Cooper's hawks living in the city of Detroit, but they're long gone once the steam shovels started moving dirt around. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. Wait till you see the video. You know, excuse me. As I've said, most people don't care for videos, but I got a whopper one. I think it's 52 minutes. It's what I thought was all the nice spots of a 250-mile drive yesterday. Daniel Boone National Forest, some rivers, gorges, that kind of thing. But it'll be a while before it's up. What do you have today off, Mary? Just took a day off? Hey, Diana. Oh, that's cool, dude. Yeah, it's really, you couldn't ask for a nicer day yesterday. You know, warm summer rains, it's kind of nice, you know, when it's not, it's nice warm rain. That's how it is today. I mean, I got the windows down. Oh, okay, closed for Veterans Day, that makes sense. Lexington, you know, of course, there's a lot of money there. I mean, if that interests you, but they have all the amenities of a bigger city. But beautiful there, looking out, seeing those horse farms. I've got a buddy of mine that runs a large horse farm for the Chanel people. They're like billionaires. He's been doing it forever. He's run their whole breeding operation and horse facility for like 20 years. Again, not something that really interests me. He's asked me to stop by to give me a tour, and I just wasn't into it. Oh, thank you, Letha. You I've got like a internet connection, so that's why I haven't been doing any lives lately. Plus, I'm tired when I get back. It was 400 miles down here and then 250 yesterday, and my sleep hasn't been that great. So when it's late at night and I'm like trying to wind down, I'm just too tired to do it. And I know it's going to be a hassle while I'm uploading video at the same time. Oh, that was nice of you. Oh, okay, Mark. That's cool. Yeah, horses are a lot of work. Honestly, I bet I haven't seen 10 horses since I've been down here. Not that many people have, and not. I saw one dairy farm, but it's not like where I'm from. Oh, they give you that's decent of them to do a free meal at a Golden Corral. Now, I bought an agate just a long time ago, and it's a red agate, and the guy acted like it was some big deal, and he wished he hadn't put it on eBay. A red agate, not the purple, but it's reddish colored. Is that any big deal? Hey, Jeff. Yeah, I hope driving isn't tiring me out like that anymore. It's one thing driving where you know you're going, and another thing when you don't. Oh, thank you, Drew. Thanks, Tim. Yep. Hats off to the veterans, that's for sure. Yeah, I think that's very nice of them to do. Sure is. Oh, 50? I think it's probably 65 here, 70. Looks like it's clearing to the west. I hope it's going to clear. It's a game changer for me if it quits raining. Yeah, Lake Superior agates are great. I saw when I was down there at Pine Knot that they have a federal prison there. Oh, where's that? Where's that, Nicole? No, not really. No, people think that. I don't know. I think it's the way it was portrayed in movies and stuff, but nah, it's like anywhere else now. I was talking to a buddy of mine last night about that. Everything, everywhere is kind of getting to be the same. You pull off, you got a steakhouse, a Starbucks, a Baymont Inn, a Motel 6. Now, the topography changes, but it's not like the old days where there was this stark contrast when you came down south. It's beautiful down here. It's not like that. Hey Jay, how you doing? Diana, just attach him in an email to Mary. Just attach him in an email. Things gotten any better for you, Jay? I'm not home yet, by the way. Oh, good. This area right here, see Pine Knot, Somerset, Corbin, London, Broadhead, all these areas. I uploaded a video of Berea right there. Beautiful college there, right there. I was in Big Hill. All this area right here. Corbin down to the Tennessee border. That one photo of those abandoned buildings was at Whitley City. That whole area. See, Lexington's not that far. But I think I wanted this morning to head east. Right along here. See Harlan, Everts, Baxter, all those places, but I don't want to ruin it if I can't photograph it or video it. Yeah, that's what's here, 70, yep. Hey Graphic, how you doing? Yeah, have a good day, Dan. Nah, she's not around anymore, Brian. She's got her own channel, so you could communicate with her there. No, I've never been there. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, all these towns are beautiful, I think. Really nice. Good, Shannon. How you doing? Thank you. You know, I lived downtown Chicago for 13 years, and I went on the internet last night and was looking before I went to bed. Man, is that place heading south in a hurry. You know, when I lived there, it was, the Magnificent Mile, the big shopping mecca. It's supposedly a mile long on Michigan Avenue. It's unbelievable the amount of stores that have been closed. Plywood in the front. There was nothing closed when I was there. Although even when I got there in 98, there was quite a turnover of stores. I mean, the big box stores were there, like Macy's and stuff. But that water tower, they were having problems uh, even back in 98. A lot of tenant switching. And man, I looked there last night. It's really sad. They're worrying about how they're going to be able to fund the downtown area now because of the lack of sales tax. Yeah, I have videos of horse farms uploaded from the last time I was down there, which was 2 years ago. Hey Mark, how you feeling? How you feeling? Yeah, crazy wealth is right. As I said, a buddy of mine runs the horse farm for Chanel. Those people, Worthsteins or something like that. They live in Europe most of the time. They have an airplane that's hollowed out, and all they do is fly their horses around. I don't know whether it's theirs or they charter it. Oh, really? Sorry about that. That's really coming down now. See, if I got caught out in the rain with my camera in this kind of rain, it'd be a big problem. Yeah, that's what I say, Linda. Is it nice and warm where you're at? Yeah, Mary said she's turning the corner. They did, but not downtown. When I was living there, that's still their golden egg. They can't afford to have trouble in downtown, but it did say that there was a murder on Oak and State Street, which is like, Louis Vuitton type stuff, and that people are starting to get where they don't want to go down there anymore, which is their biggest worry. I spent literally thousands of hours. When I moved there in 98, it was really, everything was just really turning into like great investments, and everything was brand new. I spent thousands of hours in the Borders, which was the biggest Borders they had in the country. It was like four floors, the basement, then 3 floors. It was so great. I go down there and it was snowing, drink a coffee when it was snowing hard. And Virgin Atlantic had a hell of a bookstore and a music store for a while. It was another great place to sit and drink coffee and look out the window, but all those places are long gone. Hey, George. 82, all right. Yeah, for the memory, you can't argue it. Pretty good. Yeah, it's not so awesome anymore. If you haven't been there lately, if you've kept up in the news, they're having problems. Who'd ever thought that you'd have to worry about occupancy rates on the Magnificent Mile? I mean, people would come from all over the world there to shop for a week. It was crazy. I mean, it's a world-class city. But man, I'll tell you, retail, for all the reasons you already know about, Amazon, ordering online, and it was great why it worked. But now that people are sitting and ordering whatever it is they want with the click of a mouse, and crime going up, like I said, they're worried about it. Hey Faye, how you doing? That's it, Mark. Isn't that the truth? But it seems like no matter what it is, you thought it'd last longer than it did. Hey, Karen. Yeah, I didn't stay there long. I was down right around the tip of the border and then came back up north. Yeah, I'd rather stay in areas like this than areas like that. I've been there a million times. It's kind of interesting to me how you got a state like Kentucky, and then you got two major cities so close together. You think there'd be something further south that would have developed closer to Knoxville? Oh, Daisy's good. Yeah, I like going over that bridge. That bridge seems old. Even Chicago during the good days had a hard time maintaining their bridges. When Obama got into office, he got them a bunch of federal money and they were all redone, but bridges like that are really super expensive. You know, they're all certified and licensed, and it's this crazy ongoing maintenance. And hey, Dominic. Same with elevators. Elevators are expensive to maintain. And God forbid if you're not in a maintenance contract and something goes wrong with one. You know, that's a Jeopardy question for you. Speaking of that, sorry to see that Alex Trebek died. I was watching that show last night and kind of turned it off instead of watching the whole thing. I liked watching him there. I'll miss him. He was a great host for that show. Those are some big shoes to fill. I haven't had anything really great to eat down here. Okay, good, but nothing great, to be honest with you. I got some good Mexican the first time I was here. Hey, Klaus. Hey, Mark. Yeah, he's perfect. Yeah, he'd been sick actually. He's to me it seemed like he had hung in there pretty good. But I mean, fourth stage are still amounts of time you have. I don't know when they caught him in the fourth stage, but I was hoping it'd be some miraculous recovery and he'd make it because he kept on taping shows. I don't want to know when the last show's going to be. I know they tape like 3 or 5 shows a day. Hey, Poppet. I just can't. I just can't imagine. But I've been surprised before. Whoever thought they would have replaced Steve Perry in Journey with a voice that sounds very similar, but they did. Yeah, probably right. There were times Jeopardy didn't do that well. That was actually taken off the air for a while because of low ratings. Yeah, it does. I'll tell you though, if you played Steve Perry and the new guy, if I shut my eyes and really listen, I can pick out a difference. It's too bad they had to have that kind of falling out. It's just like, even though David Lee Roth's voice sucks, I didn't think Van Halen was that interesting without him. Sammy Hagar had a better voice, but I guess, voice isn't everything. It's the whole presentation. And, I mean, it'll be interesting to see that. They're always having arguments as well, so I don't know that they'd continue to tour anyway. Eddie Van Halen, believe it or not, there's a million guys that can play like that. They're all over the place. Go on YouTube. I don't know what they're doing out here with this tent in front of this steakhouse. They got balloons on the front and stuff. I bet it's a Veterans Day something free. I bet that's what it is. Maybe they're giving free steaks. Yeah, when I'm in a place like this, the GPS doesn't do you much good. I'm looking to figure out like where I can get on a highway and string through an area that looks interesting. Where you go nuts doing it with the GPS. And you need to know the topography. I want to be in the mountains and the Appalachians, not going into large subdivisions. I just bought this actually. It was only $20 for 2021. Yeah, other than if it wasn't for something like this, I wouldn't do it. But I like having a map. And sometimes, like if they have a traffic jam or an accident, it's nice to have a map. Usually I'm too lazy to pull it out and I wait in line with everybody else. Yeah, I was never an Eagles fan. Glenn Fry, he was from Royal Oak, a suburb of Detroit. And I never really was interested in Joe Walsh very much. Oh, Greeter Falls? We'll have to check it out. I didn't know you were playing the piano and singing. Oh, okay. Let's check it out. Yeah, it's really coming down now. I noticed when I was getting a coffee at Starbucks this morning, like, of course, this is the mountainous area, right? And drainage is a constant issue. And man, was that water coming down that parking lot. It looked like a waterfall. And it wasn't even raining that hard at the time. But I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of design in these highways here, getting rid of this water when it rains this way. Thank you, Dominic. Have a good day. Oh, 72. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Good old Kentucky rain. That's it, Twick. See, here's this McCreary County that's like one of the high poverty rates in the country, and in the top one or two in Kentucky, right down here. Well, I think I'm going to sign off here and either go back to my hotel room or head up to Lexington. So you guys have a good day today. I'll try and get on later today. Yeah, you'd love it here, Mark. Yeah. Yeah, I've been to West Virginia. Yep, I love that state. I'm actually going to head east to West Virginia when I leave here. I was going to go to Mississippi, but I think I'm going to go east instead. No, I probably won't. I've been there before. That doesn't interest me that much. I've been to Mammoth Cave and all those places, but probably not. You too, Klaus. You too, Mark. I'll check out your piano playing. You too, Mark. Hope you feel better. You too, Klaus. See you, Mary. Have a nice day off. You deserve it. Goodbye, everybody.